And still ahead on Israel Now, another violent attack with the suspect yelling out "Free Palestine." A closer look on what that phrase really means. Welcome back to Israel Now. During a recent deadly shooting at a New Hampshire country club last week, a witness says the gunman yelled "Free Palestine." The exact motives are still under investigation. Now, the state attorney general says the suspect said this to create confusion during the attack, but the phrase has become commonplace during attacks like these.
Free Palestine was also chanted when 2 Israeli embassy staffers were shot and killed outside the Capitol Jewish Museum in May.
And also when this Egyptian immigrant shouted it while throwing a Molotov cocktail, also at a pro-Israel march in Boulder, Colorado. Now, this phrase has also swept up college campuses. Remember this? Out-of-control protest at Columbia University?
Leo Terrell, who chairs the DOJ task force to combat anti-Semitism, said, if you chant "Free Palestine" and "From the river to the sea," you support homicidal maniacs. There is freedom of speech in our country, but ask yourself why you want to be here if you hate our country and our biggest ally so much.
Joining us now, Brooke Goldstein is the author of End Jew Hatred and president of the Lawfare Project. Brooke, it's a pleasure to have you on. Talk about the phrase "Free Palestine" and what it means.
Well, thank you for having me. I think the phrase speaks for itself. When these so-called homicidal maniacs are chanting it, they're doing so in the commission of a crime, assaults, and even murder. The chant is not for democracy. These are not protesters for peace. These are pro-Hamas, pro-terror protesters. You know, the Free Palestine movement has nothing to do with state building, nothing to do with freedom of speech, nothing to do with freedom of religion, and everything to do with bolstering the control of radical Islamist terrorists, not just in the Middle East, but here in our country as well. And it's unfortunate that this is not recognized more widely, especially when we're looking at diplomacy that is now rewarding terrorism on the international scale, particularly at the United Nations, which has now decided to declare a state of Palestine, some of the members there.
When I get to this, Jerry Seinfeld, of course, speaking out about this topic, he recently said, "Free Palestine is, to me, just you're free to say you don't like Jews. Just say you don't like Jews." By saying "Free Palestine," you're not admitting what you really think. It seems to me almost that it has become the ultimate, I'm going to say, anti-euphemism. It's a worse way of saying what you really believe.
I believe in freeing Palestine from Hamas. The question is, who are you freeing it from? And again, you look at the actions. People are screaming "Free Palestine" as they are burning American flags, burning Israeli flags, engaging in assault, engaging in murder, shooting people and screaming "Free Palestine." It is exactly what they are acting out. The Free Palestine movement is a pro-terror movement. It comes right out of their mouths and their actions themselves. October 7th didn't happen because the Palestinians didn't have a state. They had their chance at state building. They tried to build a state in Gaza. Instead, they built a terror complex, the largest subterranean terror facility in the world, using civilians as human shields. That is what the state of Palestine looked like, and that is what any state of Islamist Palestine will look like in the future. God forbid that happens.
Brooke, I'm kind of interested to get your take on why this has become so prevalent on America's colleges.
Unfortunately, we have been witnessing the radicalization and indoctrination of American students, youth, K through 12, not just American college campuses. A lot of this has to do with the influx of foreign funding, especially from governments like Qatar. Qatar, being the #1 state sponsor of terrorism, has spent over $6 billion over the last 2 decades funding our educational system. And the fruits of this type of foreign influence are playing out before us, in front of our eyes on our TV screen. They are influencing the Middle Eastern Studies departments. They're funding campuses not just in the United States, but also in Qatar. Georgetown just apparently renewed their contract with Qatar, where other schools who have recognized, like Texas A&M and other schools and institutions like the Brookings Institute, for example, have announced that they are canceling their financial partnership with Qatar.
Amazing. Okay, Brooke Goldstein, thank you so much for bringing light to this phrase that seems simple, but it is certainly much more complex.
Yeah,
we
it is.
appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, that does it for Israel Now. We thank you so much for watching. I'm Bob Brooks.
And I'm Katrina Zish. We'll see you next time. And this program is brought to you by La Palm.